confirm or deny Matthew Knies will make more on average in his next contract than John Tavares in his next contract? Who will have the higher cap hit?
And this could be Tavares' contract, could be with another
Anywhere,
team.
wherever they play next year, who is going to have the higher cap hit?
I'm going to 100% confirm this.
Matthew Knies, you think will have a higher cap hit than John Tavares? Okay.
I actually do confirm this because that's what happens when you're 22, 23 years old and you score 26 goals, 27 goals, and you're projected to be a 35-goal man, and everybody's going bonkers over the stats with goals and hits combined and what he's all about. He's got a lot of promise, and that's kind of the sweet spot to get paid. So I'm 100% confirming this. And I'd also like to clear one thing up because people out in public are giving me the gears. I want John Tavares and Mitch Marner to make as much money as they can possibly get. Get them for every last cent. But I'd also, as a former Maple Leaf player and someone who covers the Leafs, I want to see the team win. And to me, it doesn't make sense losing year after year and continuing to sign these guys and keeping them in the fold when you lose. That's the last time I'm going to address it because people are like, you're a hater. You hate. I don't hate anybody. I want to see the team win. And if you're not winning, how the hell do you keep tossing money at the same guys that lose? It doesn't make sense.
I'm with you. I hear you. I hear the same chatter. I get the same commentary.
Yeah, like people are like, it's the captain. It's Johnny Toronto. I'm like, I don't care who the hell it is, man. If you don't win, you don't stay. You don't play. Like, you got to change the team.
And the easiest way around all of these potential issues is for them to win. Go out there and win, and everyone breathes easy. The greatest possible
story. Go to the conference
story.
final and lose in Game 7, and then everyone can look at it and say, maybe you kind of need those guys to stick around.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How about a cup final and actually win in Game 7 of the cup final? That'd be even better.
Go the
next step. Yes.
Anything than a first-round bounce or quickly in the second.
Absolutely. I mean, you have to get, like, that's the thing. Marner's a little bit different. Knies is different based on where they are in their careers. Although Marner's a UFA, and you got to consider where he's going. He's not going to be a kid if you give him an 8-year deal. All these things have to be considered. But with Tavares, like, you got to get to the playoffs first before anyone should make any decision on anything, Leafs included. And obviously Leafs being the primary, topic here and really determination in terms of what's going to happen because it's their team and they get to hand out the contracts and it's their responsibility to build the team out. But you got to, if you lose in the first round again, everything you said and I've said, I don't see how anyone could argue against that. I don't. But a perfect scenario, of course, dream ending, is Tavares retires a Leaf, Marner retires a Leaf, Matthews and Nylander, they all do it. They've won cups. That's what everyone wants to see happen.
Right.
They play the games. They have to play and they have to change it. They're the ones that have to do it. It's their responsibility.
Yeah.
That would be great, but you got to go do it first.
And look, the players have some say in that, right?
Yes.
The players have some say in whether or not they're going to win because there's a pie, and the bigger your piece, the less everybody else's piece. That's just how it works in the National Hockey League. So I'll deny this and say John Tavares is going to do something we haven't seen anybody in this cohort of players do, even though he's not just a would-be 35-goaler, as you say, like Matthew Knies, who's got 25 goals this year. He actually has 35 goals this year.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he's on pace for a little more than that. He's coming off, guys. He's the second star of the month in the NHL.
Incredible.
It's the best month of his career.
Yeah, amazing.
13 goals in 15 games. I mean, this guy is not slowing down at age 34. He might be getting better, which is scary. Mm-hmm. But I do think he has a long-term view here. As much as I'm sure his agent is in his ear telling him, you can get a lot, man.
Yep.
You get a lot of money here. Forget about age. It's just a number.
Think the one thing you can't do, Feschuk, is you can't fall in love with your own players more than any other players in the league. Because there was a guy that scored 41 goals last year. Do you know what team he played on?
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah. And now he's playing at a team where it's not going so well, making a lot of money. Mr. Stamkos.
Yeah.
That's
the issue.
But I think Tavares is smart enough. Look, he was smart enough to be a good soldier through the transition from the C to the A, have a career year pretty close, it's not 47 goals.
But it's still going to be a lot of points.
One of the best
goals.
years of his career.
Absolutely.
And coming on at the right time, too, peaking in March. Hopefully he continues it through April. But I think Tavares is smart enough to know that if you give a little here, you can get a lot later.
Yes.
Okay. But
Yep.
let me ask you this, Feschuk. If you watched him in the playoffs where the pace quickens and the ice shrinks and it's a different ball game to shine on. If it's not even close in the playoffs, are you still like, yeah, bring him aboard? Like,
Oh, no. No, I've been telling these guys to break up the team for a long time, just like you guys have. I mean, there's no way any rational human being can expect this to be different with the same core four. Now, maybe it'll be different if you get great goaltending. Maybe it'll be different if the trees on defense are the trees on defense in the playoffs in a very effective way. But I'm with you. Like if they don't go very deep here, there's got to be a complete rethink.
There's a lot of data here.
Yes,
you would think so.
We're past the 11th anniversary, or we're coming up to the 11th anniversary this month of Mr. Shanahan's tenure as president. He's had one idea, one overarching idea: keep these guys together. That may be the end of that idea if they don't make something happen quick, in May and maybe June.
And again, they're lucky that they have another opportunity to change it all. Like, that's the amazing thing, that if you go on one run, the previous 6 years gets completely thrown out. Like, they're lucky that they're still together and they have chances to keep going for it. A lot of other teams would have said we can't continue to do this years ago.
Yeah.
And they need one run and everyone will breathe easy. One run. And everyone will say, all right, you got it. It was actually you needed Tanev and Carlo and you need Stolarz and Net and Berube behind the bench.
Yeah.
That's what it'll be. Like if this team collectively goes on a run, it will be, the core four it always made sense. The team building from that standpoint always made sense. They just needed the other pieces to fall in place. And that will be the argument.
Blame Kyle Dubas. It was all Dubas'.
It was all Dubas' fault. Dubas and Sheldon Keefe will take all the heat, for sure. All right, confirm or deny. If healthy, this gets back to what we talked about earlier this hour. If healthy, you are 100% healthy and you can play. Yanni Hakanpää should play in the playoffs. Confirm or deny. If he's healthy, it's all good. Yanni Hakanpää should be playing for the Maple Leafs in the playoffs.
You know what?
Here we go.
After the tirade I just went on, I'm going to confirm it because if he's healthy and someone on that coaching staff decided that he's going to go on the ice, they're confident that what happened in the past and what they saw in the past is not going to be there and he can be an everyday contributor. I don't think anyone would risk putting him in a playoff game if he couldn't play and be a factor.
Yep.
I mean,
confirm it too, man.
Yeah, there's still a chance it could go ugly and you're watching it and you're like, no thanks on that one. But to start off, if somebody decides he's healthy and can play, he's going in there.
And it would, listen, Benoit could cause you problems come playoff time as well. And if it's one game and it goes south, it's a big game. Every game matters. Every game counts. But it doesn't mean you have to commit to him for the rest of time. You give him a shot. He's healthy. He can play. If it doesn't work, you're out. Benoit goes back in.
Yeah.
Yanni, he can play. Get him in there. Get him in there for game one.
Yeah, no, it's a really fun hypothetical if he's healthy. Like it's the biggest.
It is.
Like it's a 6'7" if. It's a massive long reach stick if. Like,
yes.
He's a massive human being that could be obviously very effective. He's been very effective. That's why they got him on board. That's why they initially wanted to sign him to a 2-year deal until they found out that the knee wasn't very good.
Right.
And that was subtly diminished to a 1-year deal that's turned into a 2-game deal to date. So yeah, you'd love that guy out there. As you outlined it perfectly, Hayes. It was the perfect right-left, big guy. It was the perfect third pairing with him and Ekman Larson, both with some experience in big games. I just can't see it happening.